Well, thanks so much for keeping it K24 this morning. My name is Shiko Kaitani, taking over from Jeff Morte as we bring you a very special edition of today's programming. We have made certain changes as we prepare to go live from Gusii Stadium at exactly 10 a.m. to cover the funeral of the late Simeon Nyachae. Do keep in mind that his body arrived at his Nyosia home yesterday. There will be a service taking place at Gusii Stadium this morning and then followed by a private burial at his home. And as you can see, preparations are currently underway. We will be bringing you pictures from now on, rather, all the way to the rest of the day from Gusii Stadium, as well as, of course, that update from his home. It is also something that you can read in length in today's copy of Your People Daily. Nevertheless, we do still have condolence messages still streaming in for the late Senator Mohammed Yusuf Haji. And we just want to share some of those with you right now that are coming in via Twitter. As you can see, at Musalia Mudavadi going on to say, my condolences to the family of the late Senator Mohammed Yusuf Haji. The people of Garissa and Kenya at large have lost a hard-working, humble and patriotic servant. May his soul rest in peace. Okay. Still taking a look at more tweets. Mzee Yusuf Haji was a great career administrator and patriotic Kenyan. As senator, he served the people of Garissa well. And of course, that was coming in from Kalonzo Musyoka's Twitter account. All right, you can see the Deputy President William Ruto as well sending in his condolences, saying the country has lost a devoted and indefatigable administrator who was cause-driven. Senator Mohammed Yusuf Haji was a gifted politician, modest yet strategic schemer with groundbreaking mediation skills. Of course, playing a very vital role in regards to the BBI report, as well as being part of that committee. Of course, we've got opposition leader Raila Odinga there as well, sending in his message saying, in the passing of Senator Yusuf Haji, Kenya has lost a dedicated patriot and a humble servant. We can only thank him for the years of his life that he gave in service of our country, his last great public passion being the Building Bridges initiative. Okay. We'll continue to sample more of those, but keep talking to us, by the way, through our social media accounts at K24 TV. Remember, the hashtag is K24 this morning. And indeed, we do send our condolences to the family of the late Haji, as well as the people of Garissa. Moving on with our conversation today, it is National Children's Dental Health Month, and we are raising awareness about the importance of parents investing in and knowing about their children's oral health. Now, thanks to my guest today, you will be able to spot any abnormalities in your child and hopefully help your toto develop good oral habits. I do want to welcome to the show Dr. Gladys Maina. She is a dentist at Royal Smiles Clinic. Karibu sana, Dr. Gladys.
Thank you.
And then we do have Dr. B. Simiu, who is, and I hope I said this right, endodontist at Royal Smiles as well.
Yes, you said it correct.
Oh, thank you.
Pleasure meeting you.
My tongue is misbehaving this morning, but you shall forgive me. Welcome. So good to have the both of you here with us. And by the way, our question of the day will be coming up, and it's a very simple one today. And it's pretty much about what dental problems you would like to ask about, especially those involving your child. We'll keep it simple. Send in your questions right now for Dr. Gladys and, of course, Dr. Simiu, should you have any of those, and we'll be happy to just shoot them their way. And so let me start off with you, Dr. Gladys, in regards to some of the reasons as to why parents are perhaps not as keen to their child's oral health.
Good morning, Shiko.
Yes.
It's great to be here again. The major reasons why most parents seem not to be very keen on their children's dental health, the most worrying one is lack of information. There's a general deficit in that area, an assumption that children will just grow and their teeth will be fine. The other issue is the assumption that dental care is most often expensive and out of reach for many people. And the other biggest problem is fear fear of dentists. So we tend, so we have situations where parents tend to transmit this fear to their kids. They probably had a bad experience previously.
Yeah.
So that means that even the point at which their kids are having dental issues, the parent being afraid is not able to make a conscious decision to go to the dentist with their children.
Right. Well, what ages, though, Dr. Simiu, should I actually start, my dental care for my child, and even going as far as seeing a healthcare provider, in your opinion?
Well, as early as your child is born, toddler,
wow,
you start actually touching their gums with a damp cloth on their gums just to keep off any bacteria after feeding. So as early as without teeth, you start actually try to like take care of their teeth by just a damp piece of cloth.
Yeah.
And the moment the first tooth comes out, you have to start tooth brushing with a toothless toothbrush. And they recommend at that moment maybe only 2 teeth are present. So a toothpaste the size of a grain of rice.
Right.
And then you gently brush these 2 choppers, I call them choppers.
Yeah.
And then the baby will get used to these habits as early as even 6 months, because that's when the first teeth is coming out.
You know, I didn't even know the whole wiping of your child's gums with a wet cloth until the last time Dr. Gladys was here, and I said, no way.
Yeah.
How many parents know that you're supposed to actually be almost just wiping down your baby's gums?
Exactly.
And does it make a huge difference?
Oh yes, it makes a huge difference, because it's going to keep away any pathogens or bacteria that could be present.
Yeah.
And you know, every human body has almost 700 billion species of bacteria in the mouth.
Yeah.
So trying to keep them as early as they are will prevent any decay for the teeth that are yet to erupt, because at that time, you know, we have 20 teeth in the jaw. The milk teeth are just waiting to pop out.
Right.
So it is a preventive measure. And the baby will also get used to something going in their mouth.
Right.
Later on, from a piece of cloth to a toothbrush.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've mentioned about just, of course, our dental formula as, you know, you grow. But Dr. Gladys, let's understand children's teeth. You know, we hear about molars, we hear about primary teeth. Give us the basics.
Okay. So we have baby teeth are usually 20 in number. That's a normal number.
Yeah.
In certain instances, you'll find that kids get born with teeth. Like a child is born and you see white teeth-like structures in their mouth. Others appear shortly after birth, within a few days or weeks.
Yeah.
But the normal number is 20. Most often, the period at which we start seeing those milk teeth popping in the mouth, we call them either milk teeth or in dentistry lingo, deciduous teeth. So they start popping up anytime from 4 months, between 4 months to 6 months. In some kids, in some children, their teeth may start coming into the mouth much later.
Right.
So that's why we advise that you keep a keen look, and even that starts at the point where you're cleaning your children's gums with a piece of cloth, because then you can tell if there's something popping or not.
Yeah.
And if they are late. So they are 20 in number. They are gradually replaced by permanent teeth from around the age between 4 to 6 years. And they don't all come to the mouth at the same time.
Right.
So for some kids from 4 months, others from 6 months, and that's the point where we start hearing parents complaining of kids who have lost appetite, they're drooling, trying to put things into their mouth.
Yeah.
Because at the point at which the teeth are trying to pop into the mouth, there's irritation that the babies feel on the gum.
Right.
That's why they always have toys or things they're trying to nibble on. Yeah.
What are some of the common dental problems, you know, obviously as an expert or as a professional, Dr. Simiu, do you see in children?
The first common one is dental caries or decay. Many children nowadays really are introduced to sugary diet as early as age 1. And therefore, the most common problem they face is tooth decay, dental caries. And then later on, you can find some problems like malalignment of teeth. So the teeth are not straight in the jaw. And also for parents who are staying in areas where there's high fluoride levels, we encounter what we call dental fluorosis, or the teeth are just coming out brown because of the fluoride in the water.
Wow.
When the mother was expectant, because teeth start developing in the second trimester. So from 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
That's when they start. So at that moment when the mother was exposed, it depends on the amount.
Yeah.
At that moment, the baby is taking this fluoride. And when the teeth erupt,
Yeah.
Definitely the teeth are going to be brown.
Wow, can we stop there for a second? Because I find this so fascinating. You want to tell me from the exposure that the mom had to excessive fluoride is probably the reason why your child's teeth are stained.
Exactly.
So they naturally just come out brown.
They come out naturally brown. And it's not the baby's fault. Some parents say, why is my child's teeth, am I not brushing them? This one came out and they're afraid the next one is going to come out. I just tell them, it's not the baby, it's you. Yeah.
So for someone who probably is even expecting at this particular time, what then is really the advice or recommendation around what they are taking?
My recommendation would be they have to have their water fluoride levels be checked. And most pediatric dentists, the dentists who are trained to treat children are skilled in this. They can get samples of your tap water or your mineral water, and then they're able to detect how much fluoride is necessary for you as a parent, so that throughout the gestation period, you're not exposing your baby. Because apart from teeth, the bones are going to be affected. So let your water levels be checked. Even the mineral water, just have, read the bottle, what's the package, how much amount of fluoride is in that bottle you are drinking.
And I think it's a very common thing that you see, especially in rural areas, because what do our family or relatives do? You know, you go take water from the river and you consume
Just consume directly.
Yeah, okay. And you know, funny enough, Dr. Gladys, when I went to see my pediatrician, she told me, by the way, you've got to be careful about how much milk you're giving your child. That as well is causing cavities. Because we don't realize how much sugar is in milk.
That's true.
Yeah.
And also the other factor is in our feeding habits.
Yeah.
We see situations where, say, at night you're trying to soothe your baby, and the simplest way is to have the milk in a bottle and let the baby feed and sleep with the bottle in the mouth. Now that contributes to us having cases of early childhood caries.
Okay.
Because you see, if there's milk pooling in the mouth throughout the night, that you've created a very perfect environment for bacteria and that. And actually the lactose in the milk to just create a microenvironment on the teeth structure, then the teeth start breaking down. Because the moment the baby lies down and there's milk all over the mouth, that is just like a perfect environment for decay to start happening. So also what we feed our kids, the frequency, the duration, also that matters.
All right, remember, dear viewer, we are asking you to send in your questions to both Dr. Simiu and, of course, Dr. Gladys in regards to your child's oral hygiene. And generally, what dental problems would you like them to address? At K24 TV is how you can reach us. And, of course, our WhatsApp number will be at the bottom of your screen should you wish to send in your questions. One of the challenges, Dr. Simiu, that you would find that parents have is being able to spot any abnormalities early enough. And so you'd find that we may neglect it until much later, and then now you've got a serious problem with your child's teeth. What's the best way to know, okay, or at least, you know, have a red flag and say, okay, there's something wrong?
Yeah. Actually, most parents really want to take care of their children's teeth, but they don't know how. They think they are doing their best, but there's much more. So red flags would be poor feeding habits. If it's not tonsillitis, maybe just let the baby open their mouth. And then if there is any cavity or darkness, you'll just spot something black or brown on top of the baby's teeth. That's a red flag. Or if they're taking cold water, they are going to feel some sensitivity, or they don't want to swallow, or some of them even spit out. That is a red flag that your child's tooth is undergoing some decay, because it starts from as low as sensitivity, and then after that it goes to mild pain, and then you'll be able to pick up mild pain, and then severe pain. Now the baby even is holding their chin throughout, and they're not eating or biting on their food. So those are some of the red flags. Another one is, of course, when they are going to school, some of them are shy to speak, or their self-esteem is affected. You'll just see your child, maybe when they're speaking, they want to cover their mouth. that might not be pain, but the look of the teeth. Perhaps there's fluorosis or some kind of staining.
Yeah.
Apart from fluorosis, if they are not brushing well at home, there'll be some food debris staining the teeth, which we shall talk later about the staining of teeth.
Right.
So those are some of the red flags the parent is supposed to pick up as soon as they notice changes in the behavior of their children. A lack of feeding properly, low self-esteem or covering their mouth, and even severe pain or sensitivity. Watch them when they're drinking something cold or hot. Yeah.
We tend to see a lot of crowding of, or at least what you call crowded teeth, Dr. Gladys. Is it really something that we can prevent in our children, or is it just a genetic thing?
Well, there are many factors that contribute to crowding of teeth.
Yeah.
Some of the factors include a discrepancy in the size of the teeth and the size of our jaws.
Yeah.
Because when the kids are young, remember they have 20 teeth. And of course, as they are young, their jaws are small. So those, the teeth fit on that. But then from about the age of 4 to 6, when the permanent teeth start growing, then the permanent teeth are bigger and wider.
Yeah.
So in the initial stages, you'll see that there's crowding, especially on the lower jaw, because we have a small jaw and bigger teeth that are growing.
Right.
And usually for keen parents, that's usually a point of concern. But what we normally do is advise that it's important for you to keep having regular dental checkups and a close look on the children's teeth, so that as soon as the milk teeth are loose and they're shaking, then they are removed. But then also as the children grow, their jaws grow and expand, and then they're able to accommodate the growing bigger permanent teeth. But then in some cases, there's situations where people are genetically predisposed to have either narrow jaws or extremely large teeth or even extra teeth.
Right.
That they may not fit perfectly in the mouth. Other habits that could, situations that could cause crowding is if we have habits like thumb sucking, when that interferes with the way, say, whatever, we call it the palate, the upper jaw on the inner side, we call it a palate. So if a child is constantly having their finger in the mouth, that will affect how the bone forms and grows. And then it will not have a normal size. It will probably be, instead of being U-shaped, it's narrow, looking almost like a V shape. And so now that means that the way the teeth are arranged might end up being not in the correct order.
Wow.
So there are very many factors, and also late removal of milk teeth. Sometimes milk teeth don't become so loose, or they become loose and the parent doesn't notice. Then the permanent teeth pop up either on the inside or on the outside.
Oh yeah, that's when you get like 2 rows.
2 rows like cobs of maize.
Okay, is your child sucking their thumb? We have more on that actually coming up in just a moment, because we're going to be talking about how to just improve, or at least develop good oral habits going forward. But some great insights in regards to just their behavior, including the kind of diet your child is exposed to, could determine what really their dental formula is really going to be like. So if you do have any questions, keep them coming, because we need to talk a little bit more about, of course, you know, your child's oral health. At K24 TV is how you can reach us. Remember, we do have a Dr. B. Simiu as well as Dr. Gladys Miner from Royal Smiles Clinic. We'll be back.